PIEPEN rock from Drunkabilly Records. I want to mention today 3 bands that are prominent figures in the European Psychobilly scene and Neo-Rockabilly scene. The bands mentioned today are Batmobile, the Baboons, and the band Speedbal Jr. They are and are often associated with the Belgian label, our label Drunkabilly Records. Again, the band The Baboons caused a real viral stir yesterday in the online Psychobilly gossip forums after the promo video of Drunkabilly Records we did yesterday, and already went viral again, even though they were also mentioned on the 9th of May and the 10th of May. Because they went viral, we mention them here again today. Batmobile is known for pioneering Dutch psychobilly music. They have a really large discography with great music, and including the album Amazon from Outer Space. So get that album. They also have an EP, funnily enough, called The Baboon. So check out the EP The Baboon by Batmobile as well. So The Baboons, a Belgian neo-rockabilly band released on Drunkabilly Records. I mention here again today. The band Psychobilly Jr. is formed in the year 2000 in Ghent, in Belgium. They play a mix of punk, surf, and rockabilly, with notable releases such as For the Broad Minded. They also have been spoken about highly in the Psychobilly online and gossip forums the last days, so that's why they're worth an extra mention here. Also, I want to talk about the European underground struggle that these bands have been facing. But the positive part of that is that often, and it has made many of our European bands that have had the underground struggle stronger in sound as their USA counterparts. And here, the European bands are complimented on their strong sound. Their struggle has given them recognition and also resulted in a more real sound, a more real psychobilly and rockabilly sound, and a stronger sound, and the USA band can just recognize this strength about the European bands from the underground scene. Also, I want to discuss the difficulty that many European bands from our scene have faced while wanting to tour and touring the USA in the past, yet still that many have successfully managed to do so, and we hope they continue to do so in the future and know they will. Also, I want to mention there has been a great reception in many regions around the world of our Drunkabilly Records bands, such as very enthusiastic audiences in Russia, and also great sold-out shows for some of our Drunkabilly Records bands in Los Angeles, in the USA, and we hope and we know that they will return there soon. Next, I want to mention something about genre fusion and aesthetics. I want to mention the thrash and garage influences. some of the bands have moved away from traditional rockabilly into a more thrash and garage sound, per their individual preference. Also, the garage 60s sound, 60s type garage style has been very popular to adapt for some of our rockabilly bands in the roster. Speedbal Jr. is an example, and so is 52 Combo. This is largely due to personal style preferences of the bands to move away from traditional rockabilly. This is why there has been a popular wave of bands that developed themselves in garage rock meets Psychobilly. So we have bands on our roster, the Drunkabilly Records releases, that have been aiming to bridge the gap. By their personal preference, they moved away from the traditional rockabilly genre, or didn't really quite vibe with the psychobilly genre, and tried to bridge the gap into a blended fusion genre, which is, for example, the band The Glux, that is released on Drunkabilly Records, who prefer a garage rock sound over a traditional rockabilly or psychobilly sound. But that's okay, because they really bring a savage Bonnie and Clyde style to the label. Lastly, I want to mention something a little bit controversial. That is our labels, non-political stance on politics. We are an apolitical, non-political label. This does not mean that we don't have personal ideology on politics. It just means that we as a label, everybody as a label, does not get involved in your personal ideology or any of the statements or lyrics or ideology of our bands. We like to not discuss politics. So this means that we don't go into political discussions about our or your preferences with our audiences or bands or anybody, and we don't get involved in discussions about political preferences that your band has. And we really hope that and expect that you don't go into a discussion about your political preferences with us either. To keep it simple. Some have found this a controversial standpoint of the label, that we prefer not to discuss anybody's personal preferences in politics. Thank you for listening to our promotion video, and hello again from Janine from Mexico City and Drunkabilly Records, and see you soon for our next promotional video.